Right. Let's address the trade, and then obviously we can then get started as normal. Um, so USDJPY, we posted it. We posted it here. It was crazy. I had this zone here, Levy. Welcome. Yeah, I don't think I think you might be a new member, so welcome, welcome. I hope you obviously managed to hop onto USDJPY. But yeah, so right, let's just go through this one here. We obviously entered right at the top here, and it's tapped our TP to a T. And obviously, this is I think it's a really good explanation actually about how we are yeah managing to just to have everything on point, like for example our invalidations, stop loss, we are everything's in the right spot, our take profit, everything. So yeah, really really happy. I hope you guys are too. So yeah, let's wait and see what the rest of the day has in store. Right, just to go over everything. Obviously, sometimes at the beginning, these mornings are repetitive because I want everyone to get in a routine. Obviously, I've got a very, very strict routine. First things first, we obviously check what is going on today. Yeah. All right. So we've obviously had some good retail sales here. Very very good. Nice data. And then we've got some Euro PMI. I don't think that's going to be anything different than positive, if I'm honest. As expected. Remember, with PMI data, 50 and above is an expanding economy. Below 50 is deflating. So this one's probably the key one here, because this could come in 50. That'd be huge. So obviously that's going to then strengthen euro. Sorry, Noel, I've just read your message. Morning, Dad. Can you make all trades like USDJPY this morning? We're waiting for the kettle to boil and we hit TP. I know it's crazy. I'm determined to find out why, but it's just nuts. Um, so let's wait and see. What else we got here? So. Um, we've obviously got some PMI data for the pound, and then we've got some PMI data for the dollar retail sales for CAD. So really, obviously, quarter to 3 is the only one that we need to be careful of. We're going to be in a trade round before that time anyway. So yeah, let's wait and see. One thing I want to make everyone aware of today, you have something called Friday flows. All right, and just be wary a bit later on because obviously, especially gold. With how the stock market's been doing pretty well. Yesterday, if we look at it on a daily, we've now had 3 days. We've recovered. This is where we close Friday. We've recovered, Monday, Tuesday drop. We've recovered that. So just be aware, Friday finance flows. Yeah, just be aware that as the stock markets are starting to rise, we could see some gold, especially gold now at all-time highs. We could, see some profits being taken off the table. I don't think our gold trade is quite triggered, not yet. Very, very close, but yeah, I'm gonna manually trigger this because I just want to have a look. That was my aggressive line here. I mean, my ultra aggressive was just entering where it is, and then obviously I had another um, entry. So I went in between on gold because I didn't want this was my entry number two, and this is my entry level number one. So I went in between my entries. Aggressive. a bit more protective. But obviously, like I said, I have been a lot more aggressive on my entries these last couple of days, and obviously, this is a good kind of thing to speak about too, because obviously, once you've got your rhythm and routine, you'd have probably noticed recently we've been, struggling to get a few trades to trigger because we've just been airing on the more, safer, side. So what I like to do is I'll just tweak things, slightly, So I noticed on Tuesday, sorry, Tuesday, Wednesday, I need to be slightly more aggressive because when we're not getting these pullbacks, we're just getting this continuation. So yeah, that's exactly what's happened, and yeah, it's been working very well. So going back to it, so after obviously you've looked at what news is coming out. I have a quick glaze here if you haven't got the stock markets up. We don't trade them, but obviously can utilize them, and I'll get into money flows and stuff like that another time. I've gone over it quite a few times in these lives, but obviously just be aware of the stock market, because obviously how a hedge fund works, all right, in regards to gold, is when gold is flying. Probably 8 times out of 10, that's because the lots of hedge funds are obviously they they use gold as a tool, because obviously it's always going to fly, but they make their real money from the stock market. All right. So what they do is obviously a bit like what happened, over the weekend with Greenland. They obviously they'll allocate a certain amount towards gold to cover where their stocks could potentially go in this short term dip. I mean, I don't know. One stock I caught that caught my eye yesterday was Tesla. It is flying, right? Yesterday it was up over 3%. Today it's up over 4%. This is good news. And obviously, this is what we kind of have to worry a little bit about, is that, if Tesla is, uh, flying, I always, I used to have stocks in Tesla, but I don't anymore. But yeah, I'd like to keep an eye on it because, this is obviously showing how much the, stock market is kind of starting to recover. And that to me means there's less, stress on these hedge funds holding gold. They've made a shitload of money on gold. And obviously, if their stocks are starting to recover, gold holds. And then it's, it only dips when they are happy. They're going to take their profits out. So that's why I do think we might see potentially a gold dip this afternoon. So yeah, but monitoring the DXY here, all right, the dollar index, all right. This is your stage number two, all right. Now you've always got to identify, like I always mention, trend, all right. Where is trend going? You can see here we're in a clear downtrend, all right. And to me, we're in a clear downtrend until we break this level here. All right. So I am looking to, to sell as long as we are underneath here. All right. And that's where yesterday was a prime example. Everyone would have seen positive news coming out. So everyone's starting to buy, the dollar. And boy, there was a lot, who obviously got caught out yesterday. But it's not understanding, we don't, we don't move the markets. It's the hedge funds who kind of move and control, and monopolize the industry. So we've got to be on the same wavelength as what those guys are. We've got to be thinking like that. We don't necessarily have to trade like they do, but we got to try and understand, right, how are they thinking. So that's obviously one thing that I've specialized in over the last kind of probably year properly. So yes, I'll be selling the dollar and until here. Once we obviously break this, obviously yes, then trend will continue to the upside. All right. So that would be, your index number two. Okay. AUD I played this on the, safer side. I had an aggressive entry up here, right? Because obviously we've had a lot of liquidity, like yesterday as well, and the day before. Early, London. This was London yesterday. We didn't get much of a pull back. All right, it just flew. So that's why that would be my aggressive approach. You've had a very very similar thing happen here. This was obviously early London yesterday. This is early London today. Now that's obviously what's if we're going for it, that's obviously what we would be looking at here. Second on the list was gold. I think I've already, spoken through this one, but I'll go through it again. Looks like it's going to trigger. I am going to hold on a tiny bit though. Obviously, my initial one, like I'd said, was here. If you look at yesterday, so if we go for Thursday, we didn't really get any kind of a pullback. This was very 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 similar. This was Thursday early morning. This is this morning. All right, we just pop straight up, So I wanted to be a bit more aggressive. I just what we have been doing is I would have had my zone here. All right, but we've not been having these fluid moves early. All right. They've not been happening. And this is all part of it. You got to edit your, routine, slightly. So that's why, you got to identify, right, what's been happening here. All right. This has been happening. And then it's not pulling back, it's just flying. So I'm pretty happy with where gold is. This is obviously our entry, zone here. So let's wait and see. Obviously, if we come here, it's going to invalidate the upward move. But I don't think we're going to get that. I think we might get one more push, and then I think we might have a bit of a tail off this afternoon to catch everybody out and wipe some profits off the table for everyone. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. We normally only get Friday flows in the afternoon. Then we've had Euro, which we are currently in. Happy with this one. Like I'd said, we're obviously making highs. I had this was my more aggressive one, and then I had my slightly less aggressive would have been about here. Um, no, it wouldn't have. Sorry, it was episode slightly, lower, but I'm still happy here. So yeah, let's wait and see. Obviously, if we get this nice continuation, this nice, follow through. Uh, pound two, happy here. No problems here. Um, gold, there we go. Gold's triggered. Pound, just obviously want this to come and tap in. We've had some relatively good, good data. Just obviously, what I would like the dollar to do is come and just test this 98,500. I'm hoping we're going to stay in this range this morning. Um, and then obviously, that's gonna kind of keep us where we want it. All right, if we break through here, yeah, potentially we've got those ones wrong. However, USDJPY should have covered us all. So yeah, we've got gold, we got obviously Euro USD. So yeah, gold has just triggered, and then USDJPY. I still can't believe this. I cannot believe how this has moved. I mean, yen completely flipped. It was all yen pairs. So because yen was looking strong, but it's unnecessarily looking strong. But look at this, London Open, yen just flipping on everything. But honestly, I don't think I've had a trade like this in ages, where the entry has been so close to the top and our TP has been just perfect. I mean, if our TP was any lower, it probably wouldn't have closed out, all right? But obviously, it was just perfect, just the most perfect way to start a Friday morning. Um, Does anyone have any questions? Let me go through the chats. So, Keketel, do you think dollar will pump after this liquidity sweep? It hasn't had a liquidity sweep, and obviously the dollar won't do act, like that. But I think how we've got to do is just monitor the dollar at this level here. All right, I want it to come up and tap this because it's going to then trigger us. I then want it to lose momentum and come down here. What you've got to ask yourself is, yields here are kind of still falling. This is the overall this is a good guide as to the amount of investment coming into the US. So that's obviously still starting to drop. So the stock market isn't having an impact on the dollar. So yeah, that's obviously one thing that we've got to kind of identify. I don't see any more optimism this week, even with the data coming out a bit later on. I don't see that as that's gonna particularly move us and help us. So let's wait and see um, what happens. Let's wait and see. But hopefully, we'll have some more good trades. And then um, Friday Finance Flows. Yo, thanks for this morning, Kenny and Caroline. Jack, gold looks like it's about to trigger. Gold triggered. Gold off to the races. Can we re-enter USDJPY? This is a good question, Jem. So I would not. All right, I would hold off. This is complete in decision here. All right, no, it worked out brilliantly for us, but obviously, if you look at the whole, prices opened here and closed here. Right, this is minor. This is just like woo, just yeah. This candle does not tell us anything. So just we'll say that we've obviously done well on that one and that we're obviously happy, but yeah, step back now. Step back. So gold, here we go. So and then we've got euro, which is in a little bit of drawdown, and then pound. We just want that one to come down. So yeah, let's wait and see. Does anyone have any more questions? Hopefully, everyone's got a bit of extra, money for the weekend after this morning. Remember as well, this is a like a serious note. If you are if you're obviously profitable this week, we've obviously smashed USDJPY, so happy, right? Don't go crazy, all right? Don't blow it, because having overcoming like a mountain to have a comfortably profitable week, that's like obviously chalking a tick on the board, number one. All right, so just concentrate on that is your profitable, just don't blow it. Make sure that you're not greedy or calm, and yeah, it'll be brilliant. But know what, really really happy. I hope you guys are happy too. So yeah, let's smash the rest of today, and yeah, have a great Friday. Have a great Friday, everyone. Have a good one.